as with every film, there has to be some guidelines and some rules and laws in place. Otherwise, it can be just a disaster, a chaos, like the adversary wants us to have. So in this film, there is a specific set of regulations and standards that are expected to be followed in every different situation in their specific locations. But there is some variety in the patterns. Each has a specific language of signs and rituals. I haven't noticed that there are consequences to breaking these standards. Spore, the dragon, for example, gets to each dimension. The adversary, Mort Orbor, has the same character lines in each dimension, so that we can kind of guess that maybe this is the same person, the same evil power that is in a different form, in a different scene. Cullum's dog Tuck gets there in the beginning and at the end, and there is this kind of repetitious patterns that give it a pattern and a feeling that it is a coherent structure that surrounds this whole play and work. And Cullum has a favorite sword, for example, and a special way to keep it. I haven't thought what the special way to keep it is yet, but he has a special sword that keeps in a special way, and that is a pattern. The magic ring helps McCullum skip around the play a bit from act to act. So Fate tells Cullum to find his head when he leaves home to the gate. There is also a reminder of the battling of the dragon in the dream world when Cullum says in the vision, I mean, it was cut by the frog's sharp tail. I picked it up and fought on again for a while. So he loses his head that is cut off by the dragon's sharp tail. He takes it off the ground, puts it back on, and fights on again. In the same way, a lot of us in this world have lost our heads in a battle of life, and we have to find them again. We have to put our heads back on, connect our brains to really work and make it happen. In the second act of the screenplay that take us into the battle was the magic ring that Quenby has made, and in those battles Prince McCullum is fighting as a giant, this dragon with clubs and different nets and stones that are used in the ancient war and fighting. And it is amazing, and to come out of it is quite tough. As in the middle world, Quenby is pulling the prince behind him on some branches that she has made, but she doesn't get it that he is fighting. He's in a coma, and he needs to take that ring off of his finger so he can get out of the battle. And finally, a bird advises her, so she pulls the ring out of his finger, and he's saved right before the flash of fire from the dragon that would have killed the prince. So that kind of thing that is happening repetitiously in a pattern that will help us rest a bit in the dream world and takes us again back into the battle scene. As in the underworld, the adversary, who is really at this time looking as the devil, the cannibal, who wants to eat up the both of them, he's asking the prince, who has to do impossible tasks, that how did you do this? Because Quenby knows all these things, how to do them, but she's not supposed to tell him. They're not supposed to even talk in the underworld. But in secret, she gives him the advice what he needs to do on the second day to not be eaten up by this cannibal devil. So So that is another pattern where Prince repetitiously says, I have got no other to advise me but my poor head and God Almighty in heaven. So that is the answer he gives to the devil in the underworld many times.